Hi friends! Last week we talked about the internal dialogue that's going on in our mind about ourselves and how that creates static in our minds when we are trying to communicate with our higher power. It's hard to listen to the information that's coming back to us. Today I wanted to take that a step further and deeper and talk to you about the dialogue that's going on internally and externally regarding other people. So how we see others. Is there a constant dialogue in there of people are dumb, they're evil, they don't understand me, they're mean, they're in the way, whatever it is it all negative? The biggest test of this is when you're driving. So what does that look like when you're driving? What are you saying about everybody that's on the road around you? And the most important other person in our lives, if we're married, is our spouse. And what kind of dialogue is happening in your mind about your spouse or externally about your spouse to other people? And so I just wanted us to take a moment and ponder that. And of course, I have another song for you today. It is a really great one, and it reminds me of how I have made a lot of promises before I've even come to this earth, that I was going to help people on their path back home, home to heaven, home to where we will live after this life. And there is a really great quote that I remind myself of often by C.S. Lewis, and I'm going to read it to you now. It says, "It is a serious thing to live in a society of possible gods and goddesses, to remember that the dullest and most uninteresting person you talk to may one day be a creature which, if you saw it now, you would be strongly tempted to worship, or else a horror and a corruption such as now you meet, if at all, only in a nightmare. All day long we are, in some degree, helping each other to one or another of these destinations. It is the light of these overwhelming possibilities. It is with awe and with circumspection proper to them that we should conduct our dealings with one another. All friendships, all loves, all play, all politics. There are no ordinary people. You have never talked to a mere mortal. Nations, cultures, arts, civilizations, these are mortal, and their life is to ours as the life of a gnat. But it is immortals whom we joke with, work with, marry, snub, and exploit. Immortal horrors or everlasting splendor. Next to the blessed sacrament itself, your neighbor is the holiest object presented to your senses." Wow, think about that. You have never in your life met a mere mortal. So when that internal dialogue is happening, think about that. You have placed this person below yourself when you are thinking of them negatively. And in all reality, when all things are considered and we are standing in judgment with everything stripped away, completely transparent, that we will see things differently, and they just might have had it figured out a whole lot better than we have. So check in with that internal dialogue, especially regarding your spouse. And remember that we have a long journey home, and we have made promises to each other to help each other to get there. Not to abandon each other, not to leave when things get tough or when we're under enemy fire. We have promised to stick it out and help each other on this long path home. So check out the song. It's by one of my favorite bands of all time. And sadly to admit, it actually gets me a little teary when I listen to this song, because it pushes some kind of internal button inside of me that reminds me of the duties and promises that I have made here to help others on this path. Because when you have seen darkness and know what it looks like, you have an obligation to help others to be able to see through that darkness as well. And I hope you like it. Check it out and keep track of that internal dialogue. Do something about it. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.